Today we're going to make with you healthy caramel. I will show you how to make two types of caramel. The first one will be very typical classic date caramel, but I will show you how to make different flavors of this date caramel. And the second option will be for those who want to avoid dates due to different diets and restrictions, and for those who want to make oil-free caramel. So let's get started. Our caramel has 5 ingredients, and the first one, of course, is dates. I prefer to use medjool dates, and you measure it without pits. My medjool dates are very soft, and before we starting talking about other ingredients, let's soak them into the hot water. Because my medjool dates are quite soft, so for me soaking 5-10 minutes is totally enough. If your dates are very dry, soak them for about 30 minutes. Second important ingredient is a nut butter or seed butter. If you prefer to make a natural taste of your caramel that would be loved by everyone, please use almond butter. Such caramel I use in my carrot cake, baked carrot cake in between layers, and also even as a drizzle. So please find the recipes here, because in that recipe I used almond butter. In this recipe I want to use peanut butter. Next one, to make like classic extremely sweet caramel, even though we use dates, I offer for you to add maple syrup. To make it stable and to make it more thick after refrigeration, we're going to add coconut oil. And the last fifth ingredient is a salt. Salt, ask yourself if you want to make a salty caramel for your next recipe or for like spoon enjoying, or you want to make just a generally sweet caramel. So when we add salt, we always boost the sweetness of our dessert. I'm going to make like a medium salty caramel, so that's why I'll be using this quantity of salt, and please find the full recipe in the PDF file under this video. Now we need to blend everything, and for this we need a blender or food processor. And we put our soft dates that will be easy to blend into the paste. Then we're adding nut butter, maple syrup, and salt. Coconut oil we're going to add at the end. We are blending until we get a very smooth consistency. Now we add oil. Let's see what we have. So here you are, this is our amazing thick caramel. It's very thick, it's very nice, it's very professionally made. Now I want to make a message to owners of Vitamix with a white jar. If you have Vitamix, I also have such a Vitamix with a white jar. I want to tell you that this quantity will be absolutely impossible to blend into the smooth consistency into this jar. If you need this caramel, please multiply this recipe by 2 or even by 3. So you probably will get even more thicker, not thicker, even more nicer, creamier texture than that I made in my food processor, because it's not so powerful, but you need like in 2 and 3 times more ingredients to do it. That's why you can see here just like a small pieces of dates. I make this caramel for myself for enjoying like during the day with my son. But if you want to make it for cake layers, to put it between layers, or if you want to make a caramel drizzles, you need more fine texture, and for sure you need a bigger quantity. So I know I'm sure you would ask me why I don't make it into Vitamix. Because it requires more ingredients. And for me, this quantity is enough for now. I love this recipe because it is very stable in any cakes, in any desserts that you want to create with the caramel flavor. So it's absolutely amazing. Now let's work on date-free, oil-free caramel. This recipe will be not raw, we will be curding our caramel using the stove, and no dates, as I told you, no oils, but we will be using coconut milk, full fat coconut milk. Now we need to measure this coconut milk, and please, before doing it, like 12 hours before starting making this recipe, you need to put your full-fat coconut milk into the refrigerator. It should set, so we should see the separation of water that is right now on the bottom and the creamy part. So for our caramel, we need only the top, the creamiest part. Let's measure it right now. So we need 200 grams of the creamiest part of our caramel. Here we also put coconut sugar. It will give us the main caramel flavor. A little bit of salt. Also, you can control the salt depending on how salty caramel you want, and a little bit more water. Now let's boiling. Our goal is to stir it all the time. You can even take a whisk for this goal. Decrease the temperature of your stove when it is starting boiling. And now we need to boil 2, 3, 4 minutes. This is our caramel. It is very runny, so we need to make an emulsion right now to combine water and fat. Liquids and fats. I pour it into the any cup or bowl that you want. Leave it in the refrigerator, and then you will see the result, and we will compare to caramels. This is date caramel. It is super thick. You can see that it can be a layer of your cake. It is nice. It is like a jam, like thick jam. So whenever you want that your caramel will be stable, like for example caramel drizzles, please use this recipe. If you want to have a thick layer between your sponges or inside of your cream, use this date recipe. This is what I used all my pastry career. So exactly this recipe in all my cakes. And remember, instead of peanut butter, you can use all other options. You can add here hazelnut butter, add cacao powder, a little bit extra water, and you will get amazing, like Nutella chocolate flavored caramel. It will be still caramel with a salty aftertaste, but it will be so good and so delicious. You even can try to pipe, because some of my students from fundamental course, they pipe it using different pastry tips, and it also stable and looks very, very nice. Let's take a look to this one. So this is a very simple recipe of caramel. But here is the recipe of a runny caramel. You can see it, it is super runny. This caramel I suggest you to use into, for example, cupcakes. When you want to cut your cupcake and see how the filling is running out. So honestly, it's probably a great idea for the next YouTube video. You can make such caramel drizzles on your ice cream, on your apple crumble. So whenever you want to make a like runny caramel, please use this one. And it is very easy to make. Also, I want to tell you that the final texture after refrigeration is fully depends on how thick your coconut milk. Of course, you can ask me, so Olga, can we just blend dates and water, put salt and get caramel? Of course you can, but I'm trying to show you in this channel a little bit more professional, a little bit more complex recipes that you can recreate depending on your goals. So in these recipes you can change the flavor, the consistency. So even like I told you, you can make it chocolate, you can make it almond with almond butter. And when you make just dates, water and salt, so now I mean it's nice, but the shelf life will be shorter. And here when we add coconut oil or some oils like peanut butter, almond butter, we create emulsion, and our caramel can be stable for 5-7 days. And if you want I make something with caramel, any other recipe, please write in the descriptions to this video, in the comments. And if you ever make these recipes, please tag me my planned cake and I will be very happy to see your creations.